Looking for a way to get healthy? The Chef You and I program has the answer. Kathryn Raaker and chefs from around the nation will teach even the most inexperienced how to cook. Come into their kitchen and watch them take ordinary foods with loads of calories and fat and turn those foods into healthier dishes. You will be the first to get tips and ideas on foods that are easy to prepare. Now let's join Kathryn and today's chef and learn how to make today's recipes.
Hi, this is Kathryn Raaker of the Chef You and I. And you know, I love fall. Why? Because I love to make pumpkin pies and all kinds of pumpkin things. And then you've got coming up Thanksgiving and then Christmas. So this is the time of year that I love to make some really different things. The first thing that we're going to make today is a praline pumpkin dessert. And I got both recipes from Betty Crocker, which I'm really excited about. They sound luscious. I can't wait to try them. And then the second thing we are going to make, because we want to put the cake in the oven, is the pumpkin pie pancakes. And we're going to do those on the grill, on a grill mat provided by Grill Light. And then we'll make our major wonderful sandwich that is going to be done on the grill as well, which is onions and peppers and wonderful Italian sausage, and we're making a sub. So I'm very, very excited. I want to thank our sponsors, which are Duck Fat Gourmet Fat Spray, Grill Light, and you'll see some of their wonderful products, and also 360 Pans and Circle B Ranch Pork, Marina's Kitchen. So I want to thank them very much because they really make a difference in what we do. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're making our praline pumpkin dessert. And so you're going to need a few things to do that with. You're going to need 1 can of pumpkin, which we have right here. And you're going to put this into the bowl. And you're going to mix all this wonderful things together. Really simple recipe, but so delicious in the end. And then what we're also going to do is I'm going to teach you how, because I could not find pumpkin pie spice. I'm going to teach you how to make pumpkin pie spice really simple so that you, if you can't find it, and I couldn't find it because I think everybody was sold out because this is the time of year that people make all these wonderful desserts. So that's that. And then we're going to add 1 can of evaporated milk, which is right here. And you're just going to actually put all of this, we're going to put all of this into this thing that we're going to mix up. So we need 3 eggs right here. And then we need actually 4 teaspoons of pumpkin pie spice. And you know what? I made some ahead of time, so we didn't have to worry about it. So we're going to add 4 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this is so easy to make, you won't believe it. So then we're going to have 1 cup of sugar, which is right here. And we did the pumpkin pie spice. And we also have for our recipe 1 box of Betty Crocker Super Moist Spice Mix. And you can use also the yellow cake mix if you want to. We have pecans right here. Right there it is, right there. And you'll see that right there. And I'm using the spice cake mix. So I'm going to teach you how to make the pumpkin pie spice right after I get the cake in the oven so that you'll have it for other recipes, okay? So we don't put the cake mix in until I mix this wonderful, all these different ingredients, right? And then we're going to pour this into a grease pan right there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take our wonderful cake mix, dry that is, and put it on the top of the wet. And then the wonderful thing is that you need these other 2 ingredients, and I'm going to give them to you now. 1.5 cups of chopped pecans or walnuts, and then we're going to take 3/4 of a cup of butter or margarine, but we don't need that right now. And we also need whipped cream if you want that on the top of it. So I've heated the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit in a nonstick pan. But this is actually the 360 pan, and so I greased it well, okay? And we're going to, that's a 13 by 9 inch pan. And so we're making in here, we're taking and beating with this whisk the pumpkin milk, egg, sugar, and the pumpkin pie spice, and until smooth. And then we're going to pour it into the pan. So let's go ahead, and we're going to put this over here, and I'm going to beat this so that you can see it. You don't have to use a mixer for this. You actually just want to blend everything together, right, until it's smooth. And then you're going to put this into the pan. So this is really good. So, this will make a wonderful cake. So you can see how well it's mixing together, right? And it's going to be very orange in the end. And we're going to put the pecans on the top of what we're doing. And this looks like it's pretty well mixed together. Okay. And I need this to put this in here. So put this aside. And then we're going to take our pan over here, and I'm going to pour this into the pan. I want to get all of it in there. And so it looks delicious already. When I saw this recipe, I thought everybody's going to love this. So I'm going to put this over here because I don't need it anymore. And then I'm going to take my cake mix that's dry, and I'm going to sprinkle it over the top of it. So you want to cover this whole thing, okay? And I have gloves on to make it easier. So it's like making, a cake that you've done before in your kitchen. And actually, just want to cover the whole top of it. So when it bakes, and then I'm going to put the pecans on top of that. All right. So you're putting all the dry cake mix. So that's a whole box of spice cake. So get that over there. I want to cover all the wet parts of it. And then I'm going to get rid of some of the powdery part of it. So anyhow, so smooth it out a little bit. All right. Looks good, huh? I think so. That's great. Okay. So now we have it. I'm going to put this over here. And I'm going to wipe my hands off for a minute because I need to put the nuts on now. I want to clean up all this. I don't like a dirty counter. Nobody does. Okay, so now I want to smooth this out a little bit so there's no holes here. All right. Okay, and then you want to put these. Now remember, this is a cup. This is a cup and I think a quarter. No, a cup and a half of pecans. All right. Cover the whole top of it. And then later on, when the cake is baked, which takes about 50 to 60 minutes at 350 degrees, right? You want to poke holes in it where you're going to put the butter. That we are not putting it here now. Because you grease the pan, remember? And that looks like it's pretty good. Looks pretty good to me. And we're going to put this in the oven. And like I said, bake it at 350 degrees, right? Okay, so let's put it in the oven. Let me wipe the sides off. Okay, and then, all right. because you want it to look nice when it comes out. And you're going to be cutting it a certain way so you can serve it, right? And I always get flour on me all the time, or cake mixes or whatever. So I'm trying to be really neat today, right? So I've already heated the oven up. It's ready to go. I'm going to put this cake in there, right? But I think I'm going to move it up one. So now we're going to put this cake in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. And you can test it, actually. You can test it with I use a wooden, either a toothpick or a skewer, a wooden skewer, and you can do that very easily. Okay, so now we're going to be right back after these important messages to teach you how to make the pumpkin pie spice. Really simple. And then you'll have it around all the time. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I. And you know, the other day when I was looking for all the ingredients for these two recipes, I found out I couldn't find pumpkin pie spice. Everybody was out of it. So I went up online, and actually I want to thank the Pioneer woman who has a recipe up there for pumpkin pie spice. So here we go. We need 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon, which I have right here. And I'm going to put 3 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. 3 tablespoons of ground cinnamon is the first ingredient. Then 2 teaspoons of, believe it or not, ground ginger, which we have right here. 1, look at that, 2. That's ground ginger. And then we need 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. Hold on. We have the nutmeg right here. And, wait a second. 1, 2. All right. And then we need 1½ teaspoons of ground allspice, which I have right here. 2 teaspoons. No, 1½ teaspoons. So here's 1. And then ½ a teaspoon, which is right here. There you go. And then we need 1½ teaspoons of cloves, ground cloves. All right. And the sad part was that this is ½ a teaspoon. Right. That, you know, I was going crazy trying to find pumpkin pie spice. So if you can make it, it makes it a lot easier. So now what we need to do, and I use a spoon to get everything, and then you can shake it. Now you have plenty of pumpkin pie spice, as you can see. So I showed you that I have these little jars that you can get at the store, and you can keep them, you know, up in your spice cabinet. And as long as you seal them well, and that's what you, airtight, because that's the unfortunate part that happens to a lot of spices is that they're too old or whatever, and you want to not have old spices in your cabinet. So if you haven't used it in 6 to 7, 8 months, a year, get a new one. Makes a big difference. So now I have plenty of pumpkin pie spice. So see how easy that was? And then take and put a little thing at the top of it, and then you can put it away. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to actually make pancakes on the grill outside on the grill mat by Grill Light. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and we're making pumpkin pie pancakes. Does that sound exciting or what? So it's really simple. This is the other Betty Crocker recipe. And we have 1 egg that's beaten. We have 1 1/4 cups of fat-free skim milk, 2 cups of Biscuit Heart Smart mix, a half a cup of canned pumpkin, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a half a teaspoon of ground allspice. And we're going to combine all of them in this bowl. And right after that, it's going to be a thick recipe. But you want to use maple syrup on your pancakes. And this is organic maple syrup. And we're going to use that on our pancakes, and we're going to have a fun time with this. You ready? So the first thing you do is you put your Heart Smart Biscuit into a bowl. Okay, make sure you get all those little lumps out, which I try to do. And since we're not using a mixer to do this, you want to do it the right way. So I'm going to add my egg. Okay, that's 1 beaten egg. You're going to add the milk. All right. You're going to add the pumpkin, or no, you're going to add the spices first. That's the allspice and the cinnamon. All right. Okay. And we're going to add the pumpkin. This is what's going to turn everything actually orange. And if you want to add a little bit more pumpkin, we can, which I think I'm going to do. So just a second. I'm going to add just a little bit more pumpkin to it. I think that's going to make it really nice. Okay, so then we're going to beat it. And using a wire whisk, right? And I pre-measured everything before we started, which makes it a lot simpler for you. And you can see how thick this is. It's a thick mix. It's not like your ordinary pancake mix. And they're going to come out really fluffy and probably around that big. Now, we're doing it a different way. Usually you use a griddle or, up on the stove. But guess what? We are not doing that today. We are doing it out on the grill, on a grill mat from Grill Light. And I love Grill Light products. And it's the first time I've used the mat, so I'm really excited about doing it. So, anyhow, we're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back outside on the grill. We're now out by the grill, and we're making pumpkin pie pancakes, and we're using the Grill Light wonderful round. It's actually can be used on the grill. So, let my producer assistant come in. He loves making pancakes, so we're going to let him do it. And I'm going to move to this side and let him make the pancakes. So he's actually using a little spoon that you could use for gravy or whatever. And he's putting them on the hot grill, but we've kept it very medium. You don't want it to be a real high flame. And actually, it makes it pretty simple to do. So he's got 3 pancakes out there. And so we'll make 3 wonderful, beautiful pancakes. Now, what I'm going to do when we finish it is we're going to put it on a beautiful plate. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put syrup from maple syrup, the real stuff. So let me come over here and let me come over here and show you that it takes a little while for these to, you can see them right here, and they're going to bubble and it's going to be really cool. But I don't think we have to put the grill thing down. Well, we'll find out in a minute. You can use the grill mat actually no more than 600 degrees, which is really important to do. You don't want to put it on an open fire with an open flame. So I'm really excited. We're going to make a whole thing. And you can freeze these pancakes and use them for later, especially if you have grandchildren, they would love to help you make them. And they're absolutely delicious. So let's see how they're doing. They're not really bubbling up quite yet. So I think we should leave the grill opened because you don't want it to get so hot that it hurts the actual grill mat. So we want to thank Grill Light for sending us this because it's one of the newest things that they have. And you do not use one of their spatulas on this part of the using it. You need to have, since it's a Teflon type mat, we're going to use, so if you have a Teflon pan, you need to not use, steel or aluminum type spatula. So you want to use what we use all the time, a plastic spatula. So it's going to take a little while for it to actually get the bubbles on it. But it's a nice warm day here. Too warm, I think, sometimes. It went from cold to warm. So you can do this when you're out, on parties or whatever. You could make breakfast on this. So now we have the pancakes and they're almost done. We're going to do the whole batter because we're going to actually freeze some of these to have later on. Because I love pancakes in the morning. I bet you do too, and waffles. So this grill mat makes it so easy for even a little grill that you can do it. So you have to remember to spray the mat. We did. And, I would try a couple first before I would do just practice because, it's not like doing it on a griddle. That needs to be turned over again. And we are back on the Chef You and I, and our pancakes, our wonderful, beautiful pancakes are all done. We're going to take them off the grill, right? And put them right here. They look beautiful, actually. Very easy to come off, too. Whoops. We'll put that one over. Hold on. And then here's the last one. And then we'll serve them. We'll freeze some of them, and we'll serve them. But see how easy that was with the grill mat? Very simple to do. The next thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be making for lunch or dinner, an early dinner on a football night, a wonderful sandwich made with, I'm doing two. I'm doing a steak sandwich, and we're also a shredded steak sandwich, and we're also doing a wonderful Italian sausage. We'll be right back after these important messages on the Chef You and I. We're back on the Chef You and I, and now we're going to do the wonderful hoagie sandwiches made with, I love this shredded steak that they use with, everything from Philly cheesesteaks to whatever. So we're going to put that on the grill mat and cook that. And we're going to cook the sausages on actually the grill itself. So let's start out. We're making a medley of vegetables to go with it that you can serve with the sandwich, or you can even put it on there if you'd like to. So I'm going to slice up the onions. We have onions and we have peppers and we have squash. So we're going to cut these up, and they are sweet Vidalia onions. And when I started doing this, I got to tell you, I started crying. It was unreal. But this is what you want to do, and you can do it like this, right? Or you can do it like this, like have done right here, or you can do it into pieces like this. Some people don't like to have bread, so they can have it as a medley of onions and peppers. For people that are vegetarians, they can have the vegetables, right? And they have so many wonderful products out there in the vegetarian marketplace that you can get lots of different things. So my husband also loves potatoes and onions together. So that's kind of what we're doing. So we have some of these slices that will go on the sandwich, and then we have some that'll go there. So then we're going to do the potatoes, and I'm cutting them in slices or chop them up, one or the other, and put them with these pieces right there. Okay? So, And I use small potatoes because I don't want to use large potatoes because it takes longer to cook them on the grill, especially on the mat. So this is what we're doing next. And the wonderful thing about the Grill Light products are that you can do things at night, a tailgate party, a late Halloween thing that you want to do, or even Thanksgiving if you want to do a late one, because it's getting darker out here, especially in the Midwest, sooner, and we're getting ready to change the time. So you can use the Grill Light all year round, so which I love. So these are the potatoes and onions that are going to go on one of the mats, and then these are the other vegetables that don't take as long. So we're going to also slice up our carrots, and we wanted to make them not very big. And this is going to be a great medley of vegetables. So we've got carrots, onions, and potatoes. And then I have peppers for actually the peppers and onions for the sandwich. And you can use all kinds of different things on the sandwich, but I think it would be really nice just to have the peppers and the onions. And so that's there. So we have one more carrot to do. So we'll put these on first on the mat, and then we'll take our peppers, right, and we will put them on, because they don't take long on the mat, so you would want to put them with the slices of onions last, I would think. So that's what we're going to do. And you want to get all that junk out of the pepper. And these are sweet peppers, and I just love them. They're miniature peppers, and I think you'll love them. I use them in a lot of my cooking shows, and they just always come out perfect. So let's do that. And then you just want to scrape those off. Okay, those are great. So you want to have a lot of color in this. So we have orange, we have yellow, and we have red. And I like these better than actually, the whole green peppers and red peppers, because they're sweeter, because they're like miniature peppers. So that's why I use them. And they're great on sandwiches. Okay, so I'm almost done with this. And this is the time of year that you want to go out and grill, because it's nice fall weather. Right now, actually, today it's been hot. We've had a very strange October. We had already freezing temperatures down to 29, and now we're up to 78. So that'll clear off. You never know how much of a winter we're going to have this year. I hear we're going to have a hard winter. We'll find out who's right and who's wrong on this. So all these recipes will be up on our website at The Chef You and I, and which is important to know. And we also have not only our shows on regular television, but everything from community access to YouTube to LinkedIn. We put it on our LinkedIn at Kathryn Raaker LinkedIn, and you can see the shows. And the wonderful thing is that you can find all the recipes that we do all year long on our Chef You and I show. So, and if you have a recipe that you want to submit to us to make it a little bit lighter, you can. And you can just email it to me at kraker123@gmail.com, or go up on our website and put it in the comment section. And we'd love to have you, if you live in the Midwest, on our show, or we can do it on our Zoom. So either or. So here we're almost done with this. And we're actually ready. I have to do the squash now. So we are going to, all right, I'm just going to peel this a little because you want to still see the yellow. Okay. And then we'll cut that up and put that on there too. So it's onions and carrots and potatoes and squash, yellow squash. What a wonderful vegetarian type meeting. Now, I also make my own lemon and pepper, which is up on our website too. So we're going to use our lemon and pepper mix on top of this. and which will taste great. And use nice kosher salt and black pepper. And you can put other things on your sandwich if you want to. You could even put tomatoes, spinach, whatever it may be. So let me chop these up a little bit. All right. And then we'll be done. And then we can go back out to the grill and get these on, because it doesn't take very long to do this. So, and then we'll show you everything that we've made today. And that's really important. So we're ready to go out to the grill. So we'll be right back in just a second, and we'll be out at the grill. We're back on the Chef You and I, and we've cut up all of our vegetables, and these are going to be used. We're putting it on the square mat, right? And we're putting all of our vegetables here so that we can get them cooked, right? Because some people don't like sandwiches, but they like vegetables. They don't like meat. So this is for our vegetarian friends or anybody that likes wonderful vegetables. So we're going to put these. This is a medley of vegetables. Okay, we'll put that on there. And so you can get a lot on here actually. So, and then we're going to shut this. We're going to actually shut it so that it can cook on the mat, and it won't take that long. But you want to, it's almost like steaming it, you know. But you've seen how the mat works for pancakes, which is really great. So, you know, if you're going to a fun party or whatever, you can take this wonderful grill mat, and you don't have to worry about, you know, sometimes on the actual grill they can get burnt easily or whatever, and you don't want that to happen, right? So this is an easy way to do it, and I'm going to salt and pepper them. And I'm going to use in the end, I'm going to use some of my lemon and pepper because I think it tastes so great. And I make my own lemon and pepper mixture because a lot of lemon and pepper today has garlic, and Kathryn can't eat garlic. So now what she's going to do, I'm going to go ahead and salt these. And also pepper. And that's Himalayan salt, and this is the wonderful pepper. So we're going to put this now down so it can cook. And we're going to give it at least 10 minutes to see 8 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, we'll see. Well, we'll be back right after this short message. We're done with this, and now we're taking the vegetables off and putting them on the sheet pan. And we'll serve this with our cooked, wonderful cooked. You want to do these carefully, so you want to take them off, put them on the tray. Right now, see how beautiful they are? And then I'm going to put some lemon and pepper on in a little while. You got to move them forward all the time so they don't fall into the grill itself, right? So that looks really nice. So you have to be careful with these, like I said, so you don't get them down in the grill itself. All right. And then we're going to put right after we do this, we're going to put actually the steak and the onions and the peppers on, right? So it feels a little high, so maybe we might want to turn the temperature down a little bit, so it's a beautiful day out here, and we're almost done getting these, and I might just do this. Here we go. It's not going to hurt them. A lot faster. Take that off the grill. And so we're done with those. See how simple that was? And easy to do. It's going to taste so great. All right, so now that I've done these, I'm going to take these and put those in the side. All right, so now we're putting the steak, and it's a shredded steak that you use for poor boys. You use it for lots of different things. And it's so tasty, especially on a sandwich, right? So you want to put that on there. And then we're going to put the mushroom or the peppers and the onions on there as well. Wait a second. All right, so we're going to put these on the sandwiches and our peppers right there in the front. Okay, and now we're just going to wait for this meat to get done, but I need my salt and pepper, so just a second. We're going to use salt and pepper on both of these. And I like to use Himalayan salt. It's so good. So we're just going to kind of watch this because we don't want to get it burnt, right? All right. And it doesn't take long to do this. So you want to turn it over. And we're doing our sausages. We're doing our sausages actually in the kitchen. We're boiling and pre-boiling them before we put them on here. And so, because some people like to have Italian sausage on their sandwich or just on the plate. Doesn't make a difference, but anyhow, this is going to be delicious. See how fast that's going on here? That's great. I really love these mats. These mats are just wonderful. So you want to turn over some things, right? Get your onions in there. And we can stop this for a minute. And we will do that because we really want to put these onions on our sandwiches. Okay. We're back on the Chef You and I. Our brats are still, or Italian sausage, are still getting done. So we're going to take our meat off that we're going to use for our sandwiches, right? Our subs. And the onions are done and the peppers are done. Looks great. I love this. I'm taking this whenever we go and take our grill with us anywhere, or a smaller grill, because this is great, especially for everything, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Or tailgating. Think about it that way. It's going to be great. These are our onions, grilled onions, and then our peppers, right here. And then we'll let our brats or Italian sausage finish cooking, right? And then we'll make our sandwiches. How about that? And then be able to do the cake in a little while. Show our breakfast, lunch, and lunch dinner kind of thing, right? So we are almost done. We could put these on here. No. Okay, so we will be right back after our sausages are finished. We're back on the Chef You and I, and now we're going to make the sandwiches or the hoagies or whatever you want to call them. And actually, we're going to use our beef, shredded beef, our onions and peppers, right? And then we're going to serve these on the side. So the first thing I'm going to do is, my husband loves mayonnaise, right? And he loves ketchup too. So we're going to use Marina's ketchup, right? It's right here. And it's kind of thick, so what I'm going to do is something a little bit different. I'm going to go in here with this, right, and do this. And I don't think she'd mind that. And she makes that homemade ketchup, and it's delicious, actually. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our wonderful beef, right, and we're going to put this on the sandwich, right, like that. And like that. Make a hearty sandwich out of this, right? And then put your onions on. That looks delicious. And your peppers, just one or two, right? One or two peppers right here. All right. Now we're going to close that up, right? And we're going to put this onto our plate. All right, like that. Okay, and now we'll just do it like this. How about that? Just stay together or let it go. Right. So the next one we're doing is we're taking one of our Italian sausages or bratwurst. So we're going to do this. We're going to slice it like this. And that looks delicious, actually. And put it right here and right here. Then we're going to use some onions, like I said. Right. And a couple of peppers. Right. And actually what you can do is you could use mustard or anything else on it. Right. So that's it. Here we go. Here's our 2 sandwiches. Right. The beef and actually the pork. And I think it turned out really nice, but we're going to come back in a minute and we're going to show you how to decorate the cake. We're going to use ice cream instead of Cool Whip on our cool cake. And then we'll put everything out so you can see it. We'll be right back. We are back on the Chef You and I, and this is the part I love because then we get to eat everything, right? So, actually, we made for breakfast these beautiful pancakes, right? And they're pumpkin pie, beautiful pancakes, and made with pumpkin. Then we have our cake that we did first, and that is a pumpkin pie spice cake. And it's absolutely, I have to tell you, delicious. I had a little bite in between the show, and it's absolutely delicious. Then we made our vegetables on our grill light mat. And this was absolutely the easiest thing we could have used. But I love their other products too. The grill light claws. And of course, the spatula. That's right here. And at night you can use this with a light or during the day. It doesn't make any difference, but these really made a difference. I want to thank our other sponsors, Cornhuskers Gourmet Duck Fat Spray, which we used on our 360 pan before we actually baked our cake, also on the vegetables and everything. And then for the condiment, we used our wonderful Marina's Homemade Ketchup from Marina's Kitchen. Marina's Homemade Ketchup from Circle B and Marina's Kitchen. I want to thank all of our sponsors. That's 360 Pans. Don't forget them. You can go up on our website. We'll be on YouTube and all of the other wonderful television stations all over the country, including our LinkedIn. You'll see us on Facebook. And all the recipes and everything will be on the Chef You and I. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. And bon appetit. Have a wonderful, wonderful meal.
Thanks for joining us on the Chef You and I show today. We'll be back next week with another great and healthy recipe. Don't forget to visit our website, thechefyouandi.com, for all of our featured recipes, cooking tips, and clips of the show.